No, I don't think it's working, yeah.
Now it should be.
Okay. Is it working now? Yeah, it's working now. Yeah. Testing 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. Who you have as partners in life, and you start with, most cases, with your spouses. But in terms of it's a lot more fun, and it actually is a lot more profitable to have wonderful partners. But the most important thing is it's just a lot more fun in life. And we've had a good time. We'll always have a good time together. And that applies with my partner, Charlie, and it applies with my partner, Jorge, Paulo.
Well, I met Warren at the Gillette board, and many of you have heard this story, but it's significant, so I will repeat it again. And he was asking me, at that point I was selling the bank, and he was asking me if I was happy that I was selling the bank, and I said I was happy. And then he asked me why was I happy, and I said, well, because I really didn't want to be somebody running a Goldman Sachs or say I'd much rather be like him. And he said, why is that? And I said, well, you have better control of your time, you have a better sense of humor, and you're much richer. So he said, well, I'm going to show you how rich I am. And then I didn't know exactly what he would do, but he brought out this little agenda, and he leafed through it, and there was nothing written in it. So he said, look at how rich I am. I don't have much to do. I only do what I like, and I only do it with my friends. So, so I'm very, very rich. So my wife complains till this date, how come you don't have so much time as Warren? I mean,
No, the two things you can't buy are time and love, and they're two of the most important things, obviously, in the world.
But then on the Heinz deal, we knew each other already, and we sent him a memorandum, etc., short memorandum. I called him up, and I said, well, Warren, are you interested? He said, yeah, I'm interested. I said, okay, would you like us to come by and explain in greater detail the transaction? And he said, how much money do you need? And I said, 14 billion. And he said, okay. So that sort of shook me up. And then I said, how about governance? And he said, well, send me a memo, and if it's okay, it's okay. And so that's it. So you get answers from him right away. They're very clear, and they're very objective. So
I was lucky in that I found out what I liked to do very early on, and that was really accidental to quite a degree. And I always tell students to look for the job to have if you didn't need to have a job. And I found that really when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and so I was lucky in that respect. But my dad was my teacher and my best friend, and if you've got some heroes in life, I've had maybe a dozen heroes, and you go through life and they never let you down, you're going to feel very good about life, and it won't be how much money you have. I mean, I've never met anybody whose kids love them when they're 65 or 70 that felt like a failure in any way, that whether they were rich or whether they were living on a modest pension. And I was lucky enough to have a father like that, and then for various reasons, which I won't get into in detail, I was kind of a mess for a few years. Well, not quite that long, but in any event, it carried forward. And then I married a woman who really just helped me become less lopsided in life. And so I've been lucky at a very few crucial times, and I've had a wonderful partner in Charlie Munger. I met in 1959. We've never had an argument. So if you're lucky, and I always advise people to hang out with people better than you are, because you're going to go in the direction of the people you hang out with, and there's nobody you're going to hang out with much more than your spouse. So it's very important to marry somebody that's better than you are, which in my case wasn't very difficult. But and that's what formed me. The IQ isn't that important. I mean, you've got to be intelligent, but you don't have to. You don't need 170 IQ or anything like that to succeed in life. What you need to do is develop the talents you do have, find the places where those talents leave you the happiest and produce the best results in a market society, and enjoy life as you go along. I mean, you don't want to say I'm doing this and that and this and that until, at 70 I'm going to finally have a perfect resume and finally find something I like. I always say that's a little like saving up sex for your old age. I mean, really, it's not the greatest plan in the world. So it's been simple, just find the right father, in my case, find the right spouse, and then find a job you love, and good things are going to happen.
Jorge, Paulo?
Well, in my case, the dominant figure was my mother. Lost my father when I was 13, so she was the dominant figure, and she loved me very much, and I could do anything, and she thought it was okay. And when I was here at Harvard, and I almost got expelled the first year, and so I received a letter from the administration suggesting that I take a year off, and she was absolutely furious and wrote back a letter saying that her son was a genius, actually, and I don't know what.
That's a good mother.
So I had a mother who was. I didn't take the year off. I came back, but anyway, so that was my mother, and she was really important, and it took me a little while to get going. I graduated when I was 20, then I played tennis for a while, finally got into business, went broke in the first attempt, learned a lot. So by the time I got going, I was 30, and then it was pretty good. I sort of found my way.
Jorge, if you'd dropped out, you might have created a place so I could have gotten in. I mean, I've been trying now from 86, 67 years. I mean,
well,
you should have left a slot open for me.
I had an uncle who lived in the U.S. And after I got out and after I started doing well, he kept saying, "See what I did for you by keeping you at Harvard," and like that. And I said, "What do you mean? You cost me a couple of billion. Look at Bill Gates." I mean,
Bill at least got in. I didn't even get in.